as you know, before I start, I always like to commit the broadcast to prayer. So, Father, we just thank you. We bless you. We honor you and we magnify you. We thank you for this is the day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you that the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts will be acceptable in your sight forever and ever. Amen. Amen. And good afternoon again and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about friendship. What it means to be a friend, who is a friend, who is your friend, who is my friend. And so in the studio with me this afternoon, I have two very special ladies, two ladies that are very dear to my heart. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and once they've introduced themselves, we will take it from there, and we will talk to you for the next half hour about how we feel about friendship. So, to my right,
my name is Pastor Desiree Etienne, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am the pastor of Bethel Abundant Life Ministries. We are pastor with my husband, Reverend Osborne Etienne. We've been there for around 22 years. We have three beautiful daughters, and I love the Lord, and I'm just so happy to be just praising God and just worshiping Him. And my life service is just to do God's will. And I love the people of God. I love to worship, and I love to give God praise. And it's really nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is Jermaine Dublin. I am a friend of Pastor Idris, or Pastor E. She's also my pastor at Ebenezer House of Worship. And I am also the owner of Jewels on Demand. I am a registered nurse. Yes, you can be many things. And I am also an author. But most of all, I am a child of God, and I love God and I love the people of God. And I am so happy to be here with you this afternoon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so you see, I surround myself with powerful women of God. All my friends, let me just say this, are not believers. But as you can see here, to my right is Pastor Etienne, and to my left is Minister Jermaine, and they're two great women of God. And not only they're women of God, but they're very special to me. And as I said before, we'll be talking about friendship. So, friendship, what does that really mean? We throw the word friend around a lot. And some people, of course, are our friends, but others are acquaintances, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But we tend to say, oh, my friend. But what does friendship really mean? And so we're going to have a whole conversation this evening about what friendship really means. Is it just to meet someone, to like them, and to count them your friend, or does it go way deeper than that? I think it goes way deeper than that. Right, Pastor Etienne?
Yes, I do think
What
so.
does friendship mean to you?
Well, friendship means to me, someone who, loves you, accepts you, appreciates you for who you are. And I also believe that being a friend is give and take. You should give as much as you get. So a friend, you care about the person, you reach out, you tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them. So that's a friend to me. They care about you and accept you for who you are. Yeah, so that's...
Sister Jermaine?
I do agree with Pastor Etienne, but I also would add, I believe friends should be able to be there for each other. So, we shouldn't only be available in the good times, but when the bad times roll around, that we kind of disappear. I think friends should be able to support each other, lift up each other, have a kind word when it's needed, and get down in the trenches when it's needed. So yeah, I do think a friend should be, a friend, a true friend could be even closer than a brother sometimes. And that is how I see a friend.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And that is so, so true. Because sometimes we have people who love us in the good times.
Yes, yes.
And we see them all the time when things are going well.
Yes.
But sometimes when we are down and out, we're sick, or we have issues. My mom used to always say, you know who your true friends are when there's trouble.
That's right.
Because people tend to disappear. And sometimes they don't mean, what I've learned over the years is that sometimes they don't really mean just to disappear, but sometimes they can't handle
Yes.
the
that's true.
struggles that we're going through.
That's true. Yes.
And even though that's not giving them a pass or giving them an excuse to go, sometimes we have to understand too. Because there are times when, you know, our own friends
Yes.
would have stuff going on, and we really don't understand how to deal with some of the situation. We do our best.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're saying things that after it comes out of our mouth, we're like, oh, did I just say that?
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yeah.
I have a friend who lost her son at 27. And I got the call very, very early in the morning at 6 o'clock. Well, if your phone rings at 6 o'clock in the morning, Sister Jermaine, you know that something is
Not-
up.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's the news I woke up to, that he died in a car crash. And so because I was so close to her, right after work that day, I went over to her house. And the thing I said to her is that I don't have words.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yes.
And she said, you don't have to say anything. And I just embraced her.
Yes.
And that for her was enough.
Yes. Yes.
Because, you know, sometimes we get off saying things like, I know how you feel. I understand what's going on.
But you've never
They
been
don't
there.
really.
Yes. So it's
They
like-
don't really.
Expound on that.
Right. So the person, so when you say that, sometimes the person don't take you seriously like you really understand because you've never been there. So that's why sometimes in life we go through certain situations is so we can minister to other people and to be a better friend. So, you know, the words are not comforting to someone if you say that I know what you're going through, if they've, you know, if they've
Yeah.
never been, if you've never been through that situation.
Right.
Yeah. I think just like you said, because I tend to start with a disclaimer, because I usually say to people, I really don't know the correct words to say in certain situations. Even if I've been through it, even if you understand it, it's, you know, somebody else, words might not mean anything. But that hug was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
They may just need a hug or just you being there.
Right.
Just you showing up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll continue by saying, if you need me for anything, just let me know.
Right.
And you know, just how are you doing? Give a call, whatever. Be around, show up, so they
Yes.
can call on you. So when they start crying, you might be there to comfort them.
Yes.
But you don't have to have all the words. You don't have to have, you know all the answers. I don't think that's required. But you be there, and that's the thing with a friend.
Yeah.
You just need to be there
Be in the
and
moment.
show up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
be present.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage folks out there. I know that there are times when you have friends and they're going through difficulty, and you rather not see them because you don't know what to say. You don't know how to express your feelings. You don't know how to make them feel better.
Yes. Yeah.
But don't just stay away. If you're a friend,
Yes.
you're a friend that will be there, that will show up in the hardest of times. Like you just rightly said, we don't have to have the words, but just the fact that we're present,
Yes.
you know, we showed up, it tells them that, oh, this person really cares about me.
That's right.
And I know sometimes it's hard, but to maintain friendships, because when that person comes out of that situation, they would not look at you who never showed up
Yeah.
the same way.
Yes.
You know, could I consider you a friend who didn't even bother to even show up in the toughest of times?
Yes.
So we are just, you know, friends when, you know, we go out to eat and, you know, we have a
All the
good
good
time
times,
and all the
right.
good time. So, but friendship entails being there for the hard times,
Yes.
the difficult times, the times when I just need somebody to say to me, I am here.
I'm here.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
Yes.
You know, in April last year, I contracted COVID-19. And I'm telling you, what kept me going is not what people gave me, is not the gifts, is not the food. It's just the fact that I recognize that there are people out there who would just call sometimes and say, I'm praying for you.
Yes. yes.
You know, I am here. What do you need?
Yes.
If you need anything,
Yeah.
just call me.
That's right.
That's
You know,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
and that meant more to me than even you, Sister Jermaine, bringing my bowl of soup. That was good too. That was some good soup. But just the fact that you called me up and you said, Pastor, what can I do for you? And at that time, what I knew I wanted was some soup.
Yeah.
And you made me a nice batch of soup. And that was amazing. Now let's move on. So the three of us are here. Not only are we partners in ministry, but we're friends. I'm your pastor, Sister Jermaine. I'm your partner in ministry,
Yeah.
Dr. Etienne. Just talk a little bit about how we met, because we have known each other that long, but believe it or not, Pastor Etienne and I have become very, very close.
Yeah.
So how did this all happen?
So, okay. So it was a few years ago, probably, what, 4 years?
Probably 4
around
years.
4 years ago, we were at a pastor appreciation breakfast at Lombardo's in Randolph. And we happened to be sitting at the same table, and she was sitting next to me. And we just bonded. So Pastor Jess and I just started talking, and we just had, so much in common. And I'm a real estate agent, and we started talking about real estate, and then, then it was just history from there.
Yes.
So we just connected, and then we're friends ever since. And, we're very close because we have a passion for ministry. We love the people of God, and we really bond on that. So we're very good friends.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Sister
Yes.
Jermaine,
Yes.
where did I find you?
Oh, I don't know. So Pastor E, to be honest, we're from the same country. I'm from the island of Montserrat, which is a beautiful, beautiful island in the Caribbean. It's a British colony. And so we're both from Montserrat. So we've seen each other in passing. I knew her for many, many, many years. We both belonged to the Pentecostal Assembly. She worshiped at a different church to where I worship, because we lived in different villages. But we always saw each other. There was quarterly, there was something, or went into the bank where she was working. So we weren't strangers. But then she migrated here many, many years ago. I think about 36 years ago, perhaps. And I was still at home, and then I took a longer route to get here. But I finally got here about 9 years ago, and we kind of connected very soon after that. And she was very instrumental in my journey, and should I say recovery, from a very bad marriage. And she was there for me, and we just kind of hooked up, and she would take me walks, say, let's go exercise. We go up to the Blue Hills and we'll walk and exercise. And, she just tried to help distract me, and she will be there to give me some words of comfort and encouragement, so that the journey could have been much worse, but she was there. She was talking about food. She was there so I can, she would call me and she'd say, what are you doing? Come upstairs, because I used to live downstairs. You need to come upstairs, have some food and hang around. And I go upstairs, jump up in a couch. And her daughter would always call me and said, Auntie Jermaine, come upstairs, Mommy cooked. Or Daddy cooked. I always joke about that, because she didn't cook, but she invite me to food. But God bless you, Nicola. God bless you. And so so she's been an integral part of my life since then. And she dragged me around Boston to different events. And by the time winter came, I was glad for winter to come, because she would drag me from place to place. Didn't get any time to rest in ministry, of course. But I was happy for that, and it was amazing. And so our friendship really blossomed from there. And we're still having a great time. Now she's the pastor, she's my pastor, and so I attend her assembly, and I work with her. Basically work with her. She's the pastor, but I work with her to help in any way I can in the ministry. So it's been a journey.
Yes,
It's been a journey.
that's awesome. That is an awesome. And we are still best of friends.
Amen.
And it's amazing where life takes us, because the reason that we really didn't cross paths per se when we were back home, I mean, like she said, we saw each other and whatever, but we never ran the same circles, because believe it or not, I am quite a few years older than her. she wasn't going to tell you that. But so I was out of school and she's coming into school and, all that stuff. But, it's amazing how God, the Bible said the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
Yeah.
And so it took her going all the way to London and then coming here. And then we connected, in ministry. And for some reason, we connected and, we did ministry together. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I can't tell you how much hard work we did in ministry, Pastor Etienne. I mean, we were cooking, we were
Cleaning.
cook and bottle washers, we were cleaning the church, we were doing everything together. But the amazing thing is that all that time, we didn't know that God was preparing us for something else.
Amen. That's
Because I
awesome.
wasn't a pastor then, and I had left my ministry. Sister Jermaine came along. We were at another ministry, and we both worked, tirelessly in that ministry. Because I was the women's president at the time, and she just came along and just did. And like she said, I dragged her all about the place. But amazingly enough, God was preparing us
Yes.
for when I got to be a pastor just a few years later. She is the women's president at Ebenezer House of Worship. And she has been very instrumental in a lot of the things that we do there, all the technical stuff, all the computer stuff. She is the whiz. And so,
That's good.
when people come into our lives, we need to cherish them.
Oh, yes.
Because
yes.
you just never, ever, ever know where that is going.
Yes. Yes.
So those of you who have good friends, cherish them.
Yes.
Because at some point in life, you will need them. Sometimes we feel like, we can do everything on our own and we can master things because, we have, we're educated, we think we're smart, but no man is an island.
No.
That's right.
We all need people. And although both of you are my friends, we want to talk about how different friendships look. Because I always know that God brings people into your life and people are there for specific reasons.
Yes, yes.
No two friendship
Yes.
is the same.
Yes.
Right.
No. No.
There is something that you can feel for me that Sister Jermaine can't.
Right.
There's something that I can feel for you that Sister Jermaine,
Yes.
and vice
Yes,
versa.
yes, yes.
You know what I mean? So let's talk a little bit about that because people tend to think that you have friends and they have to hold on to you like your piece of property.
Yeah. No.
Some people are so they can't understand why I could be friends with you and I still can be friends with you. There is always this clash of ideas like, oh no, I was your friend first. So over here, let's talk a little about that. So people understand different people are in your lives for different reasons.
Yes. Yeah, that is so true because, you know the strengths of, your different friends and you know what gap each friend can fill for you because, if you need prayer, you know exactly which friend to call.
Yes.
For prayer. If you need, advice, you know which friend to call for advice. And the thing about it, each of us fill different aspect of, our friends' lives.
Yes.
And I think that's just very important for us to know because if you need someone to really listen to you, you're going to call a friend who's very attentive. Because that's one thing we need in friendship is when we're speaking to someone, for you to listen.
Yeah.
Not to just hear the words, but just listen to what's going on and really, take it in and, give you advice. And so you can know definitely they'll listen to you. So you know definitely who to call. So I think, yes, each friend fulfill a different aspect of our needs, our emotional needs, because all of us have emotional needs and we know who to call to fill those needs.
Yes.
Yeah. And I agree because, I remember when I was kind of going through a divorce and, everybody, and I I have some great friends. I give God thanks to that. I do have some great friends. But just understanding who you can speak to and who you can't.
Yes.
There's some people who, even though they've been Christian for many years, they serve God. I know they love the Lord, and I know they mean well. But in terms of the advice they can give to you, or even words of comfort when you need it, they just don't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with, I don't know, some friends I have been Christians all their lives, like from birth. Well, children, I should say. So they really have not walked some of the paths that you may have walked. So they do not have the kind of words or
Right.
understand what you're going through. So it's not intentional. It's just that they don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't have what's required when somebody else would have it. Somebody have a little more broader view of things. So just like you said, everybody do not fill the same gap. But you know, we can still appreciate each other for where they are, just like we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
I may not have all the words to give to you. You might have just lost someone. I don't have all the words to tell you, but I can show up, you know, as well. So you look at a friend. I think for me, I'm really looking at the heart of the person. I'm not trying to
Yes.
own you.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
trying to lock you
Yes.
down just to
Yes.
me,
Yes.
because I understand, and I say that to Pastor E all the time. And you know, when we really got on this friendship and we were on the same route, we don't own each other, and it doesn't matter. I know my friends, so it doesn't matter how many people you talk to.
Right,
I'm your friend. It doesn't really
Right,
matter. I don't
right.
really care. You know, it's like a husband saying to his wife, at the end of the night, we're going home together, kind of thing.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, I know you're my friend. Doesn't matter how many friends you have. You can have a million friends. I'm still your friend, and that's fine. And that is how we're supposed to have this confidence in our friends, that we know they will be there, and they are there, and they're your friends no matter how many friends they have. You know, just have that confidence in
Yeah.
knowing that this person is there for you. You know,
Right,
irrespective
right.
of whatever else is going on.
Right. And understand too, I have friends that we don't talk all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes months go by and I haven't talked to this particular friend. I had a friend the other day who just texted me and said, I long to hear your voice,
Yeah.
because we haven't spoken in months. But that's one of the friends that I have, Pastor Etienne. If I know I'm in trouble,
Yes. Yeah.
I can find him wherever he is. And if he has to swim across on a piece of wood
Yeah.
to come find me and help me, he's going to be there.
Yes.
So we don't have to chase people down all the time. And a word of advice to people out there. I have lost friends. Sister Jermaine, I have lost friends because they were way too possessive. I had to cut the cord when someone says to me, I called you and you didn't answer. You didn't call me back, and really get upset. And so I just said to the person one time, I said, listen, there are times when my very own children call me and they can't find me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what they do is they leave a message, or once in a while, depending, they may call you. My children are funny. I love that. They're funny. If they're really desperate that they haven't heard from their mother, they would start calling my friends. Auntie Jermaine, did you hear from mommy? Auntie Terry, did you hear from mommy? You know, but if it's not earth-shaking,
Yeah.
they leave a message and they know that, you know, I'm going to get back to them. I tell you something funny. There was one time when I worked at David's Bridal, because I love that kind of business. You see how a nice little setup
Yeah.
here? I love this kind of stuff. So I decided, okay, I wanted to do bridal consulting. So I started working at David's Bridal, and oh my gosh, that place was so hectic. It was crazy, you know, because
wow.
you have a bride may come in and try 50 dresses and then decide, I'm done. I
Yeah.
don't like any.
Yeah.
And that's hurtful, because there goes my commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one Friday night we decided, because we had to clean up after, put all the dresses back, and then clean the store when we're done.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, they didn't hire a cleaner. I didn't last very long, as you would imagine. I lasted about a month because it was way too much, because I was working full time. And this 10 o'clock business, no, it was way too much. So one night the workers, we decided that we would just walk across the street to Chili's, which was right on the same block. And we're going to have something to eat. So now it's almost midnight, and I forgot to call home and say, I'm coming home late. So these children were calling everybody to attend. They left me a message saying, it is 11 o'clock. Where is our mother? So my friends were calling me saying, why didn't you call home? Your kids are calling.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But with friends, there has to be some boundaries.
Yeah.
That's
and,
right.
and we have to understand that, we all lead busy lives.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So, Pastor Etienne, if you call me and for some reason I didn't call you back, at some point that I'm going to get back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes she would send me a text and it would be days later when I see the text. But she knows
Yeah.
that it's not because I'm ignoring her, but it's because I was busy.
Yes.
And so there's no vexation, there's no malice here.
yeah.
But for some friends, they take it and make it a federal
It's a
case.
case, yeah.
And so some of those friends I had to let go, because I feel like, you said it, we should be secure enough in our friendships to know how my reaction to things and know, okay, I called Pastor E, she didn't call me back. I know at some point she will get back to me. You always say that.
Yeah.
And that's how friends operate. We don't own each other.
No.
You have your life. You have your life. You guys
that's
are
right.
busy. We all are busy. Sometimes I call you, I can't find you. I just hung up sometimes. I don't even leave a message because I know you have family.
Yes,
you have
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
I'm not
Doing
the only person in
business.
your life.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
your business.
Yeah.
So listen, we have to nurture the friendships that
That
we
do
have
Yes, yes.
because good friends are hard to come by.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Speak
Yes.
to that.
They are, yeah. So yes, good friends are really hard to come by because whenever we find someone that really loves us and appreciates us, we have to really treasure that, and we can't take people for granted. That's one thing I always say. We cannot take people for granted. We have to give people flowers while they are living. We have to tell people we love them, we appreciate them, So that's why sometimes with me, I always reach out and just say somebody, praying for you or thinking
Yeah.
about
Yes.
you, I love you, because we have to do that
Yes.
because we're all humans and we don't know what each other is going through at the time. So it's a good thing to just not take people for granted, but just always show appreciation.
Yes. And I think that, in addition to that, we could look at it from our standpoint. It's beneficial for us to have a good friend, but also we have to remember the investment that person would have made. Sometimes our friends are just quietly standing by, waiting for us to just really acknowledge that we, who they are to us.
Yeah,
Because there's some
yeah.
people, they may not say many words or they may not be good at words, but you can see the investment emotionally in you. You could see that they love you.
Yeah.
And sometimes we miss that because
Yeah.
we're so busy maybe looking for the big things.
Right. Right.
But and so we can hurt people.
Yeah.
And one of the things I don't want to do is hurt people, just walk all over people's feelings. And so it's a two-way street, you know what I
It
mean?
is,
We have
yeah.
to, whilst we need to cherish it because they're very few and far between, and but at the same time we have to nurture that other person as well because they have needs, they have invested
Yeah.
emotionally in you, and we don't want to be seen to be walking all over that person's
Yes,
feelings either.
exactly.
You know, because it could be hurtful, and that memory, that experience will stay with them and affect them too.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I love when you say that, Pastor Etienne, because there would be days when I would just get a text from you, just saying, hope your day is going well. I'm praying for you. And there's some days when, just like this week, where I was like, this week was just
Yeah.
on another level. And, sometimes the text comes in at the time when you just need to hear somebody say,
Yeah.
I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
We don't have to be talking on the phone till midnight.
Right. Right.
Because sometimes, what does that really mean sometimes?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get on the phone and it's like, really
Yeah.
nothing. But when someone, texts you and say, I was thinking about you. I hope your day is going well. It means so much.
It
And
does.
that's how we measure our friendships with people. Not because they can give us big gifts.
Right.
Because big gifts don't mean anything. I can go to the store anytime and buy a gift
Once
for
you have the
anybody.
money, you
Right.
can- yeah, you can
Exactly.
do it, yeah.
And does it mean anything? It probably does in a sense, but just meaningful words, just like you said, words. Just saying, you know, I was thinking about you. I don't know what's going on with you, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'm praying for you.
praying for
Yes. Yes.
You know, and that means so much to us as individuals. And so I want to encourage everybody,
I'm with you.
invest in your friendships.
Yes.
And, you know, seek out the people and sort out, because everybody will not be your friend.
Right.
Yes.
You-
Yes.
You have something to add?
Yeah, before the ad, because before, I know soon time is going to wrap up. But I remember I was going back to something you said earlier about boundaries, and I just think it's so important just to talk about boundaries because we speak about boundaries all the time.
Yes.
And you mentioned it, and I just think that sometimes we need, even though we have good friends, we need to set boundaries for ourselves. And by that I mean, for example, like Pastor, he would tell you there's a cutoff point. I don't call her after a certain point at night. If I call her, she knows that something is up.
Yeah.
You know, or if I call her during the day, I wait for her to call back. But if I call her twice in succession, she said, "Oh, okay. There's a reason why she's
Yeah,
calling."
yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna call once, twice, 3, 4 times. You know, just
Exactly,
keep calling.
exactly.
So just set boundaries, and your friends would know, and they're gonna know the behavior and the habits. So they're gonna say, "Oh," she will say, "Oh." Just like she said earlier, somebody called at 6 o'clock, something is up.
Yes.
If I call at 6 o'clock, she knows something is up
Yes.
because I'm not going to
Yes.
call at 6. You respect people
Yes.
that, yes, they have to sleep. Yes, they have things to do. And yes, they're at work. And, they, you know, so they know your habits. So just kind of set boundaries for yourself because in as much as somebody is your friend, you could antagonize that friendship as well if you don't respect boundaries. I'm sorry, I just wanted to.
Oh, no,
to
no, no.
go back
I
to
love that.
boundary
I love
thing.
that. That's why we're here,
Yeah.
to talk about friendship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have a twisted way of looking at friendship.
Yeah.
Just because somebody is my friend doesn't mean that they're there for my every beck and call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. If I call you and you're not there, okay.
Yeah.
When you get the message, you call me back. But like you said, if Sister Jermaine calls me on a Sunday, I know that something is up. Sunday, because we don't talk on Sunday. Or if I call her, it's something that I need to say to her
Yeah.
at that moment. You know, so we have to know our friends,
Yeah.
know their habits, know what makes them tick, know what makes them unhappy. And like I was saying just before Sister Jermaine spoke, everybody is not going to be your friend.
Yeah. That's true.
Sometimes we are reaching out to people and we would love this person to be our friend and that person, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we have to recognize that even if our circle is small, it's better to have a small circle
That's right.
of valuable people,
Yes,
people that
yes.
add value to us,
Yes.
than a whole wide spectrum of people. And we have to be babysitting.
Chase.
We have to be chasing.
No, no.
You know what I mean? It's too much work.
It's too much. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes,
Don't
it
you
is.
think?
It is.
Friendship is work, and we have to understand each other's feelings and respect
Yes.
each other's feeling. If you call me today and I'm not in the best of mood, you know, I can't attend to you right now, we don't need to take it personal.
No.
No. Yeah.
I'm having an off day.
Yeah.
I remember when I was sick, and my sister would call from Montserrat sometimes, and I would look at the phone and I would see her, you know, thank God for caller ID. I would see her name come up and I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I say, no, not now. And you know, my sister would say, I know when I call you when you're not feeling well. You're the same. Sister Jermaine would call me and I would see Sister Jermaine, no, not now. I'm not. I don't feel up to it. And she's not offended
Right.
by the fact that, because I'm sick.
Right. Right.
So
right.
give me a moment.
Right.
But some other friend would say, I'm reaching out to you and
Not responding.
you're not responding, and I just gave up on calling you. What is that? That's not true friendship.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember even saying to you, you know, and I said to my friends, feel free not to answer even if you're not sick.
Right.
True.
You can say to me, I'm on the couch, I don't feel like talking. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
can say to me tomorrow, girl, I saw your number come up, but I'm watching the
I know
TV.
she does.
Yeah, I said that I feel free to do that because if not every time you feel like talking, you might be you might be hanging out with your husband, your children, you might be watching a picture you want to
Right,
watch.
right.
You don't have to answer my call.
Right.
If it's
Right.
important, you'll know because I'm sorry, I will call you back and
Right,
right.
I'll reach out and say, okay, she called twice in 5 minutes. Something is up.
something, yeah.
But if not, it's okay. Tomorrow, say, girl, I was on my couch, I was watching this picture, and I was in the middle of it, and I didn't feel like answering the call. I'm good with that. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
So, you know,
It
if
doesn't
you're
mean you're not my friend. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Because if you're a friend, yes, you would understand that and respect that.
Yes.
And the thing with it, we're humans, you know.
To begin with.
Yes. So it's like, sometimes we just don't want to be bothered.
You just want that moment,
Yeah,
and it's okay.
You
Yeah.
can say,
Yeah.
speak the truth,
Yeah.
shame the devil.
You don't-
Sometimes you don't want to be
You
bothered.
don't feel like you want to be. You don't feel. This is yeah.
You don't want to be bothered. Now, you know, I am so sorry that we have to come to the end of this discussion. But stay tuned because we're going to come back and we're going to continue with this discussion on friendship. But the last thing I just want to leave you with is cherish the people that are in your life. Because at some point, you may not need them, all of them today, but tomorrow, next week, you may need those same people. Treat them kindly. Treat them with respect. Know that they are friends, and friends have lives. They have their own lives, and so do you. And you would want to treat people the way that you would like to be treated. There's sometimes too you don't want to be bothered. So give me that space too.
That's
Yes.
right.
Let me feel like I could let my hair down what little bit I have and just sit here and do nothing.
And do nothing.
Not talk to you as a friend today. Not talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I am so delighted that you joined us, and I'm going to have my lovely friends back for another session, and I'm sure you enjoyed this. But before we go, from one girlfriend to my girlfriends, I brought a little something just to show them my appreciation and my love for them. It's not a big deal, but you know what? Sometimes it's not the amount we give. It's the thought that's put into things. And that's another thing we have to remember as friends too. You don't have to buy me the most expensive gift, or I don't have to buy you the
Yeah.
most, but you need to know that I put thought into what I did. So I am going to give each of you a little token of my appreciation
very
for
much.
being on the show and showing you how much I appreciate you guys as my friends.
I love gifts. Thank you.
I know you do. I know you do.
I do. I love
I know you do. So, until next time, this is Pastor E saying, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace, God's blessing. I will see you next Saturday at 3 p.m. on Moments with Pastor E. I love you. God bless.
Yeah, enjoy that.
Awesome.